YouTube Megan with another YouTube video. I'm going to sit you guys down for a quick second so I can readjust the laptop. So today we have a pretty interesting video for you guys. It is on a custom Lego gun MOC that I started about a good, I'd say 2 months ago, and I just finished it last night. And it's probably one of the best gun MOCs that I've ever done in terms of functionality, and straight up aesthetics look almost spot on. So without further ado, I give you guys the PP-2000. Now then, this model features the all of the working parts: the trigger works, your fire selector / safety works, your charging handle works, and then your magazine is removable. And also, for the sake of this video, I'm going to have the stock folded outwards. This is what it looks like whenever it's folded inwards. As you can see, it is still shootable by right-handed shooters even with it folded. And we're going to unfold it and back up just a little bit. So that's what it looks like with the stock unfolded. As you can see, it's a pretty good amount of length. Very comfortable SMG. Now then, anyhow, without further ado, we're going to dive right into this model. So, a little bit of background info on this model. It is a PP-2000. It is a Russian SMG / machine pistol. I consider it a machine pistol. Other people consider it an SMG, so just know that there is kind of like a divide almost in terms of what it might actually be. So I consider it a machine pistol, and I also consider this one to be one of the best on YouTube. I'd also like to give credit to someone for the inspiration of how to do the charging handle. I don't know who you are or what your name is, but if you're watching this video, you uploaded a video on YouTube of a PP-2000 that had a charging handle somewhat like this. So I just wanted to give that person credit because that's what inspired me to get that. So I don't want to steal other people's work and call it mine. Now then, again, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start. So again, we have our basic just stick stock, and then you have your little butt pad here, and it folds off to the side using a simple little hinge piece. And that's pretty much it about the stock. Coming up off of the back here, you get your fire selector switch. Took me a while to shape this correctly, even remotely close to the actual PP-2000. As you can see, it's canted right now. I believe it is on safety. I haven't really looked up what position is what, but the picture that I was looking at when I built the model, it was in this type of position. So you can also turn it. Obviously, you probably would never do this with it per se. So it's a very interesting little design. As you can see, there's a part that sticks out here with your thumb. You can get it. It points this way. It's even got the little, if you look at a video or a picture of it, it comes down to a point, comes over, curves back up, and then comes back down into the back here. So I was trying to get that look down. I got it as close as possible. I also got the whole curving down off the back here as close as possible. Curving into the charging handle was also really interesting design, as you can see. The one thing I was not able to include on this model is the circle cut into the pistol grip. I believe it's a sling mount, I'm not really sure. Also on the pistol grip, you have these grooves right here that act almost as if a grip. As you can see, the grooves. In the bottom of the pistol grip, it curves upwards, just like in the real model. You have your removable magazine here with a simulated bullet in top of it. Here's the simulated bullet. as you can see, the yellow casing and blue tip. Blue tip is just a lot easier to see, so that's why I made it a blue tip. You have almost like a kind of takedown screw right here. And then, of course, on the lower half of the pistol grip, it kind of juts out and comes back up into your trigger guard, foregrip, and trigger assembly. The trigger does work on this model. I'm going to grab your little tool. So as you can see, you can clearly pull the trigger if you were. There's a trigger bar in front of the trigger right about here that stops the trigger from moving too far forward or resetting too far forward. Coming out of your pistol grip, you have a hinge piece that comes into another hinge piece inside of the front foregrip here, and this piece acts as your trigger guard, and this piece right here acts as a integrated foregrip or a trigger guard as well. As you can see, I tried to get the curve coming down off of this piece as spot on as possible, and I also tried to get the curve of the foregrip as spot on as possible. So that's what makes this model pretty much one of the best on YouTube. There is a lot of curves and intricate designs that go into it that just make it look almost like the real model. The curve coming up off of the actual trigger assembly, there is a curve here if you look at the real model. So I tried to get that as well. And then this piece that comes down right here keeps your front finger from getting too far in front of the barrel and you shooting off your hand, because everyone knows that that would really, really suck. So switching over to the other side of the model, it is pretty much symmetrical. Besides, this side has the shell ejection port instead of the fire selector, and the other side has the fire selector and not the shell ejection port. So that's the only difference between either sides of it. The shell ejection port does move whenever you cock it. So if I were to turn this piece out and charge the weapon, the shell ejection port would move, exposing a just an emptiness in here that will mimic chambering around. As you can see, up on top of the upper receiver, you have your rail system. There will be a red dot sight on that eventually. If I could, I would show you guys the shell ejection port moving. I just did not get around to doing that, so I apologize for that. On top of your charging handle or operating rod, depending on who you are, you have curves, because if you look at the actual charging handle, it is curved. And then the piece here, as I stated, this piece folds out either way, and that's what your charging handle is. And then whenever you let go of the charging handle after reloading, it will spring forward and this piece will reset back to its forward position. So yep. Where's the zoom out button at? There it is. Also underneath the charging handle, if you see a real life picture, there is a space, which I got here. There's also a circle piece that the charging handle sits on. And this front slope piece is not here, but in order to get the charging handle to stop after it resets, I had to put that piece there. So I had to suck it up and put that on there. And then of course we have our short barrel with our front post sight on it. So looking down the sights would look something kind of along the lines of this. I know there is no rear sight. Eventually I will probably put one on after I put the red dot on, but this is what is there for now, so this is what you guys get. Also, the picture I was looking at didn't have a rear sight, so I didn't really know what rear sight to give it. I'm just going to assume it doesn't really come with a rear sight. So like I said, this is probably one of the best PP-2000s on YouTube. In terms of functionality, it's pretty much spot on. I would love to go run around outside with this thing and like just have some fun at nighttime maybe, or do some other things and whatnot, and probably get chased by the cops because it looks that real. Anyhow, this is a pretty good model. Also, if you guys are PP-2000 experts, you also know that there's a separate version made where the back piece that comes off here is hollow and accepts a spare magazine, and the spare magazine works as your stock. I did not make this model or that model. This model is the one with the folding stock. I personally like the folding stock better. If there was a way to integrate both of those into one model, I would do it, but unfortunately that is not acceptable in this case. So, games that you guys should be aware of that this model, oh geez, oops, oh that was close. Models that, or games that you guys should be aware of that this model premiered in. Modern Warfare 2 was the first game I believe it premiered in, and then Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. Was it Battlefield 3? I'm not sure if Battlefield 3 had it, but I know Battlefield 4 does. So that's pretty much where you guys can see the PP-2000 in action. Also, there's not very many videos on YouTube of the PP-2000, but there are a lot of pictures out there. Russia tends to be a little secretive with their weapons. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Remember, comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos like this one. I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching.